Hello, this is another of me reviews. This Doctor Who annual from 1976. I noticed it on someone selling it on eBay, and it looked more than vaguely familiar to me because I used to have it when I was a child. Um, I don't know when I last had it. It probably could have been it could have been taken down to a charity shop years, and in fact it could have even gone down to the tip when I don't think it went down to the tip when I moved house. I think it was probably parted with donkey's years before I moved house. And it's the Doctor Who Annual 1976, starring Tom Baker as Doctor Who, an authorised edition as seen on BBC TV. I got this off eBay. So let's have a little browse through the contents of it. Doctor Who Annual 1976. I don't think it is exactly the same copy as what I used to have, but you never know because it says Mark Walster, Christmas 1975. Well, if this was if the copy that I had came from a charity shop or a car beat sale or somewhere, that Mark Bolster could have been the person who originally had it, who had it before I did, or one of the persons who had it before I did. Anyway, let's have a look at the contents here. Contents: stories, a new life, the hospitality on Hankus, the sinister sponge, Avast the mission, picture strips, the psychic jungle, Nordic nightmare. Features: peculiar plant killers fit to be an astronaut, great jumping Jupiter, puzzling giant planets, space talk, dressed for the job, stories in the stars, it's a fact, the plasmoid jungle, moonstruck, galaxy of stars, thanks to space research, space word, ABC of space. It says here, copyright MCMLXXV, that's Roman numerals or something, by British Broadcasting Corporation. All rights reserved throughout the world. Published in Great Britain by World Distributors, Manchester Limited. P.O. Box 111, 12 Lever Street, Manchester M60, 1TS, by arrangement with the British Broadcasting Corporation. Printed and bound in England by Gerald and Sons Limited, Norwich. SBN 7235032006. And I actually used to communicate with Tom. Tom Baker had his own website where you could actually communicate with him, ask him questions, and he'd answer them for you. But quite a while ago, he hasn't done that for a long time. A new life. But Doctor, Sarah protested, we can't possibly just disappear into thin air. You know how annoyed the Brigadier gets when he's expecting you to be on hand and then you go and do your vanishing trick. Well, Sarah, the Doctor sighed, barely hiding a smile. If it would make you any happier, I'll leave him a little note explaining anything. Well, there's two people that were regulars in Doctor Who there. Sarah. That was Sarah Jane Smith and the Brigadier. Well, they're both leftovers from previous incarnations because Sarah Jane Smith was a journalist who stowed away into the TARDIS in 1973 in a story called The Time Warrior. Sorry, that was during John Pertwee's reign as a Doctor. That was in 1973. She stowed away in the TARDIS, and her first story was the Time Warrior, and our last one was that the Hand of Fear. and the brigadier. I think the brigadier. He was working for UNIT, and the doctor was a scientific advisor for UNIT. But I think the brigadier knew the doctor during his Patrick Trout during the time when he was played by Patrick Troughton. I think that's why he knew him to have regenerated twice. He, and the second time it happened, he actually saw it happening. He actually saw the doctor regenerate from John Pertwee into Tom Baker. There he is. There's Brigadier Lefty Stewart, played by Nicholas Courtney. There's a doctor played by Tom Baker. I don't know who they are. Peculiar plant killers. Fit to be an astronaut. Great jumping Jupiter has this journey. Hospitality on Hancus. As the grey nothingness of a trans-dimensional flux faded from the screen, it seemed as if all hell had been let loose. The TARDIS swung violently around, sparks flew from the control panels, and Harry, Sarah and the Doctor, Harry was one of his travelling companions in the TARDIS, and the Doctor bounced helplessly off the ceiling, walls, and floor. The screen showed them to be in the midst of a green mishmash that was constantly changing shape and spouting great gouts of water into the dark red-coloured air. I don't need to read these stories all the way through. You can, if you want, you can try and get these annuals at me viewing. You can try and see if you can get them on eBay. But I definitely used to have this when I was a child, because it's more than vaguely familiar. The Psychic Jungle. Deep in the steaming jungle of a seemingly young, raw and violent planet, the TARDIS materialises. What have we stopped here for, Doctor? Oh, I'll tell you soon enough, don't worry. I don't need to read any more. If you want to find out what happens in these stories, you just need to get your own copy of this annual. See, that's the last page of the Space Talk. Spacecraft food, dentistry in space, fascinating fireballs, space crockery, dress for the job, a short history of a pressurised spacesuit. It's a fact. Who would have thought it, that strange strip fastening material, Velcro, began its life as a floor covering of the LEM, better known as a moon bug, which took the astronauts on their final descent right on the moon's surface. Velcro was used to prevent the practically weightless astronauts floating about inside the module during descent. Nowadays it's used for fastening jackets and skirts. The Sinister Sponge. I don't need to read these stories to you. You can try and get your own copy of the annual and read them. Of a sinister looking character there. There's a little game here that you can play. The Doctor has become separated from the TARDIS on the plasmoid planet Spectro 6, a strange, unreal world where fact and fantasy are one. Huge boulders suddenly materialise, trees appear from nowhere, solid matter dissolves before his startled eyes as reality shifts to illusion in seconds. Help him bypass the countless dangers of the plasmoid jungle and reach the safety of the TARDIS. A game for 2 or more players. If a player lands on an arrow, he must follow it. Cannot turn back inside the maze of madness. Players must not cross. like a sort of game with dice, neuronic nightmare. I don't need to tell you what happens in these stories because you can. Moonstruck. Most people know by now that Neil Armstrong was the first man to step on the moon. I thought it was Louis Armstrong. I thought Neil Armstrong was a jazz artist, and Louis Armstrong was the first man to step on the moon's surface. It must be the other way round. I didn't realise. But do you know what are the five faces of the moon? Where's the hand of the moon? Who were the moon's men? Who were the moon's men? What is the cycle of the moon, which was discovered in the 5th century BC by Meton of Athens? Who wrote the first men in the moon? I've asked there. There's Tom Baker again. If you were the only girl in the world and I was the only boy, almost got it now. This oscillating reverberator unit should make all the difference to the TARDIS. Anyway, I don't really need to read these stories to you because I shouldn't need to. You can obtain your own copy of this. Thanks to Space Research. See, there's a certain amount of science fiction in these annuals, and a certain amount of science fiction. Space Word. Someone's already done it. Maybe if you can get a copy of it without maybe you can find a copy of it somewhere where nobody has done this Space Word. The mission. That's like a giant robot. That. Tom Baker's first story is when he first started playing the Doctor was Robot, and it was like a sort of AI thing. I think science fiction right now seems to be going through a phase where it's examining the consequences of the possible consequences of AI. If we it's examining it's dealing with what the possible consequences could be if we would be able to create beings that are similar to ourselves. And I think it was the subject was dealt with briefly in Doctor Who in the robot, Tom Baker's first story, and also it's been dealt with in a sci-fi series on Channel 4 called Humans, which is about robots called synths that very much like human beings in every respect. And so someone's written this code where if you download it onto the synth, it becomes conscious. It becomes conscious, and it's like, and the synth has got this program downloaded onto it. It's like a human being in every respect. It can think and feel, and it can act upon its emotions. And one of these synths actually ends up killing someone. There's a film that I've had in my collection recently called Megan, and particularly violent film. Not something you don't want. Not something you want to watch if you don't like nasty films with lots of blood and gore in them. It's like this little girl. Her parents get killed in this road accident. There's Tom Baker on the back of it. What happens in this film, Megan, is that her parents get killed in this road accident, and her auntie becomes her mother, and she sort of she wants to. But I don't know whether her intention to make her into a spoilt brat. She builds this robot for her as a present for her that's almost like a human being, and it's like they're one of these synths in this TV series called Humans, and it starts turning nasty and killing people in pretty gruesome ways. And there's another film I've watched recently. I watched it twice, called The Creator. It's not as violent as Megan. It's about these in the future where people can clone themselves, can have themselves cloned as these duplicate robots called simulants, and these simulants sort of they create this atomic bomb because of a coding error, some sort of a coding error, and this war has been started by it. Pretty good film, The Creator is. It's a must for sci-fi fans. Anyway, this Doctor Who annual is a must for sci-fi fans too. So if you're a keen Doctor Who fan, this is a must for your collection. Anyway, I'll be back soon with a couple more reviews. This is a book review. I've not done a book review for a long time. Bye.